Young Junk! Hey, welcome to the Micheaux Mission, 2 Men, 1 podcast, every black film ever made. My name is Len, a.k.a. the Bat Tribble. And as always, I am joined by my partner.
Hey, this is Vincent Williams.
You know what time of year it is, ladies and gentlemen.
What time is that, Len?
It's Bootober.
All right.
And boy, do we have some delicious delights for you this evening.
It's pretty horrifying.
As Vincent has served on a platter our month's very own namesake, because we will be reviewing a Madea Halloween.
I was about to say, easy. Pace yourself.
Tonight on the Micheaux Mission. But first, hello, missionaries, one and all out there watching us as we are streaming live from Young Junk, Philadelphia's premier podcast palace. Go to videocontentfactory.com. Book your space right now. We are streaming to YouTube, we are streaming to Facebook, and we are streaming to all of the missionaries out there in the chat. Hello, each and every one of you.
Good evening, one and all.
Vincent, how are you doing?
I am fine, just fine.
Yes?
Mm-hmm.
I want to give, before we get off running with the show, and we've got a thick show for you this evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
And we say that every week, but trust me, you will soon see the receipts that this is a thick show.
Okay.
Nevertheless,
yes,
I want to start off with giving a very special thank you and shout out to a longtime listener and fan of our show. One Courtney Muhammad here in Philadelphia.
Hey, Courtney.
Who has not only been a fan of our audio show, the podcast, and has written to us on more than a few occasions. But it has come to my attention, and I'm sure this is true for many of the missionaries.
Okay.
Right? But it's come to my attention that not only does Courtney watch us 7 o'clock on Tuesday nights.
Thank you, Courtney.
Live on air.
Appreciate that.
But it has come to my attention that she has actually sometimes bent the laws of physics.
Okay.
In order to be home.
Okay.
At 7 p.m.
Nice.
For when we go on
Oh,
air.
that's
It
nice.
is like, it is must-see TV, if you will.
Can you feel the love tonight?
In the Muhammad house.
Well, thank you, Courtney. We
Thank you,
certainly
Courtney.
appreciate that and appreciate you.
We do.
Absolutely.
We do indeed. All right. We're going to get this party jumping real
All
quick.
right.
And it starts off with thoughts from each and every one of you, ladies and gentlemen.
Missives from the missionaries. So what else is going on, Lynn?
We have emails, Vincent.
Ooh, missives from the missionaries.
Ooh. Ooh.
Ooh, missives from the missionaries.
Missives from the missionaries, number 1.
Number 1.
Vincent, this is from Ellis Heron,
Hey, what's up, Ellis?
who writes us in regards to daywalkers.
Okay. All right, daywalkers.
Hey, fellas, I've been enjoying your top 5 lists for the past couple of weeks. That was a good call on Lenny Kravitz.
Yes.
Talking about the black vampires
Yes.
that are hiding in
Yes,
this.
absolutely.
If you ask me, he should have been in the Twilight movies instead of in those Hunger Game movies. Well, that's a good point.
Right.
As for Iman, since you mentioned her being in Egyptian hieroglyphics.
Yes.
I need to take another swing of ting.
Look, it's one of those words that you read all the time.
I know.
But you don't necessarily say it out loud.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
He says, I'm surprised that you didn't bring up the fact that she was in the Remember the Time music
Yes,
video.
sir. Yes, she was.
Was she?
Come on, dog. She was the queen.
Oh, that was Iman.
Right, that's actually the queen that Michael Jackson's disrespectful ass came in there talking crazy.
You know why? Because when I think of Michael Jackson video with a model, I think of what was it? What was the video that he did with Naomi Campbell?
Oh, yeah, that was that's not Liberian Girl.
No, it's not Liberian Girl.
It's
later than that.
I forget.
Because they're dancing. It's like, it's all black and white. It's a very pretty video.
It's look. I'm going to say something controversial, and I'm going to stand on this. That Michael Jackson could make a music video.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes you just have to put yourself out there, and that's what I'm doing. Michael Jackson could make a music video.
He could make a music video.
Yeah, but remember that's Iman who's the queen, and Eddie Murphy is the pharaoh.
That's right. That's right. Because
and everybody's coming trying to entertain them.
It's like this. It's like damn near.
It's an epic
all-star
saga.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and people come to entertain them, and then she was unimpressed, and then like Pharaoh Eddie Murphy was executing people.
Right. That's right.
Because Magic Johnson was the guard.
Yes. Yeah. It's like everybody. It's like everybody.
Right. And Michael Jackson comes and throws the dirt on the ground, and then jumps up out the dirt and start talking real crazy about that man's wife.
That's right. Thank you, Sean Simmons.
Yeah.
In the Closet was the Michael Jackson.
Oh,
is that?
I don't think it's in the closet.
Because in my mind I was thinking like in the closet, but
because it's like they're wearing like white linen in there, and it's like.
But he might be right because for some reason I seem to remember the video being incongruous with the song a little bit. Now I gotta look it up.
All right.
Now I gotta look it up. I was hoping the missionaries would get it right, and maybe it is in the closet.
Maybe it is in the closet
because I thought I actually
Michael Jackson. Naomi
in the closet.
In the closet. All right. All right. Circle gets the square.
There you go. All right. I'm continuing.
Let the record show you. Just go ahead.
Continue. Continuing on. I knew you said something that made me. No, you said something to trigger something to me.
What?
Have you seen the trailer for the new Eddie Murphy movie, Candy Cane Lane?
I did.
Yeah, that look.
Can we just
use the same thing?
I just don't. Eddie Murphy frustrates me so much. I am so frustrated by Eddie Murphy over the past 10 years. I just don't understand why he can't just be Eddie Murphy. Like this sort of weird dad mode. Like I hate dad mode Eddie Murphy. Mm-hmm. Like there's like 1,000 words Eddie Murphy, like where he's just sort of like I like that chaos. That I like that. I like trickster.
But it's been
Eddie
a long
Murphy.
time since he's been that trickster.
I mean, you know what?
It's been a long.
You're
time.
right. You're right. Because it really is after of course our beloved Dream Girls.
Mm-hmm.
It really is like that Eddie Murphy energy, that Eddie Murphy-ness. It just and it's just a trailer.
It's just a
trailer.
But you can see what
right
it
that
is.
inner like you right.
You can exactly see what it is. And this is not to knock that it probably is not a fine enough movie for what it is.
Look, it's a fine enough movie for what it is, but you don't take a Porsche and just drive it to Target and
you don't cast
back.
Eddie Murphy
right.
in a Cedric the Entertainer movie.
Yeah.
That's how I felt. That's how I felt. Looking at
it's so funny you pulled Cedric the Entertainer. Have you ever actually watched The Neighborhood?
I have watched a couple episodes.
I watched a couple episodes for the first time this weekend.
Uh-huh.
And I'll look, it's a version of a conversation we're going to be having later this episode. I was fascinated at the laser focus that it has on being. The literal word is mediocre.
Yes.
But that's a very value laden. But this sort of kind of middle of the road.
Paint by numbers.
Like CBS, like you understand how CBS makes these shows.
Is it on CBS?
Oh my God. How could you tell it wasn't? It's 100%. Like you can tell how CBS makes these shows for like 70-year-old white people in the Midwest. And it's like printing money.
Yep.
Like I completely understood how that, because, you know, I knew Cedric the Entertainer was in it and Tashina Arnold, who are two performers that I love.
Yes.
And I really I was like, how in the world are they maintaining a CBS show? But, you know, they fell right in and it really.
Cash some checks.
It's like tapioca.
I know.
Like it's sort of just good enough. And like they were having a marathon. And like I looked up and I had watched 3 episodes. And I didn't even understand
Sneak by you.
how it happened.
Sneak by you, that's right.
But yeah, it's just, yeah, back to Eddie Murphy.
Deborah Battle is in the chat, and she says that the man is 62 years old. You have to deal with it. He's making movies his kids and someday his grandchildren can watch.
Yeah.
First of all, he's made quite a few movies that his kids and his grandchildren can watch over and over again. And is he 62?
I mean, he's got to be at least.
I guess.
Yeah, at least.
I guess he does have to be.
But yeah, I saw it. You know.
And don't get me wrong. I don't expect him to become trickster Eddie Murphy again, but the energy that he had in Dolomite,
Don't
even see.
You know what I need? This is what I need. It just hit me because I think that his age brings up a very good point. I need Eddie Murphy to be Bill Murray in that post Lost in Translation Wes Anderson mode.
Yeah, but he's got. I mean,
Like he's clearly older, but it's still that energy.
you still see the twinkle in the eye.
Right. Or even like Steve Martin and Martin Short. Like the energy they have. Like we're elder statesmen.
I mean, well,
we are
first of all,
masters of our craft.
He's got to find a vehicle.
But at the same time, it's just not so toothless.
He's got to find the vehicles though.
Yeah.
And then he's got to say yes to them.
He's got to find the vehicle. Well, he's definitely, yeah. And, you know, of course, you always want to say, well, maybe he doesn't get offered the same projects that someone like them would be. But he's Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, well, but because he is Eddie Murphy, he's not going to be offered the Bill Murray.
No. But I'm saying Eddie Murphy could get those projects. Like someone would write
if he puts it out. If he
like
puts it
right.
But he's got to put. See, I don't think you. I think Eddie Murphy is. You know,
Eddie Murphy is one of my triggers. Like this is your fault.
I don't think he's at the point where people are going to write something like that for him. I think what he first has to do, especially also now, like Deborah mentions, taking his age into consideration, he's got to show the interest to work with certain performers,
right?
Certain writers and directors.
Well, it's
and then maybe lower his quote a little bit, and maybe, you know, check a little bit of an ego at the door to take on some of those roles. I don't
even think he has to check his ego. Like I don't think Bill Murray checked his ego in the. I mean, I guess the role Tannenbaum's technically is not even technically is an ensemble.
Yeah,
but something like The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou, where he's the star.
Yeah, but that's a smaller movie.
It is a smaller movie. It's funny. We'll be referencing it in a moment, as we do every week. We said it when we reviewed it, that we would have loved to have seen Eddie Murphy in the lead role in Top 5.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I would love, because, I always said I think Chris Rock is a better writer than he is actor. I would love Chris Rock or Dave Chappelle, like, write something.
I would love Dave Chappelle. I could see
write
Dave Chappelle
something for Eddie
working
Murphy.
with Eddie Murphy on a script.
Right.
I can see that. I would like that. And not so much.
Or you know
Chris,
what?
But
maybe we're wrong. The trailer has given us the wrong impression.
That's very true.
And then we'll watch and it'll be this wonderful subversive sort of thing, and we'll have to eat crow.
There you go.
Hopefully. We're
Hopefully.
wrong. And we have to eat crow.
Continuing on.
You brought up Eddie Murphy. You don't do that.
I'm not saying I did. All I'm saying is I'm continuing on.
You know my heart has been heavy since I watched the trailer. It's like, come on, man. Don't do this.
Ellis Heron continues.
Yes.
Also, I would like to submit Lorenz Tate for submission as a black vampire among us. In fact, it wouldn't shock me if either Nia Long turned him or vice versa. Oh, that's a good one.
That is a good one.
That's a good one, Ellis.
Lorenz Tate don't age.
He don't.
Clean living.
Yeah. And lastly, I'd like to submit Donnie Simpson for consideration. Not only does the man not age, but with eyes like that, you can't tell me he's not a vampire.
Well, he might be a vampire, but Donnie Simpson. Did you ever listen to Donnie Simpson on the
Not
weekend?
lately, no.
He has a syndicated show.
Right, I didn't know that.
And they play it on the weekend here in Philadelphia. It is the most hilarious show because Donnie Simpson may look like a vampire, but he's 100% an old black man.
No, yes, I do know.
Because his show is him and some other dude, and it's like being at the barbershop.
Really?
Listening to old black men ramble about stuff, except one of the old black men has a million anecdotes about like Whitney Houston and Michael Jackson and Bobby Brown. It is fantastic.
So I was curious about that.
And he just play what he want. Like, I feel like he actually reaches up and pulls down CDs.
Well, he's at that age.
Yeah.
And Donnie Simpson's, for those who don't know, is a historic DJ.
Yes. Yeah, legendary, iconic.
Legendary DJ. And for a long time, back in the 80s, the voice of BET.
Yes.
And he certainly has reached the stage where he can just basically do what he wants.
Right. Earned it.
Right. He's earned it.
Yeah.
But I was curious, does he really, like, when he shares these anecdotes, is it really entertaining?
Oh, I am quite entertained.
Okay. Like, all right, I will check it out.
Like, several times over the past few months, I have said, does he remember he's on the radio right now?
Really?
Like, just rambling in the greatest way.
I got to check it out.
Oh, my goodness. I love Donnie Simpson's weekend show.
I got to check it out. P.S. from Ellis Heron.
Ooh, a postscript.
I have to be
Classy.
fair to my brother and make the correction that he has seen some Pam Grier movies, but he just hadn't seen any of her old school ones.
Okay.
He did enjoy watching Foxy Brown a couple of months ago.
I know that's right.
But not as much as he did Coffee.
I know that's even righter. That's the one right there. That's it right there. Coffee is that's Pam Grier's Do the Right Thing right there.
This man moment brought to you by the Micheaux Mission.
Coffee is good stuff.
Email Vince directly.
Hey, man.
No, it's all good. It's all good. No, I feel you. We got another email, Vincent.
Okay.
Thank you, Ellis, for that email.
Yes, thank you, Alice. Good to hear from you.
We got an email from Michael Sykes.
What's up, Michael?
It's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's Superfly.
Okay.
Hello, Len and Vincent. Happy Bootober. Bootober.
Oh, yeah.
I've listened to your Superfly review, and I hate to say, but I kind of agree with Len.
Okay.
All you have to do is put on the Superfly soundtrack by Curtis Mayfield, listen to it while looking at the poster. Funny, I feel the same way about the Players Club starring Ice Cube.
Okay.
But I still love the magnificent soundtrack and the movie. It was just, the movie was executed horribly better than Sweetback, though. And way better than that 2018 remake, if you call it that.
Oh, yeah. We're not doing
Len, since this is Bootober, I watched 2023's Haunted Mansion. Oh, why did you do that?
Oh, I guess that's a Halloween movie we can put down on the list.
And this movie was so dry, it makes the Death Valley look moist.
Oh.
Len and Vincent, which movie is better, 1990's Death by Temptation or 1995's Vampire in Brooklyn, both of which starred Kadeem Hardison, your fan Michael Sykes?
What do you think? I forgot Kadeem Hardison was in Vampire in Brooklyn.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. I'm surprised you're taking this long to answer.
I mean, Death by Temptation got the cult following going for it.
Vampire in Brooklyn has very
A lot of fans.
passionate fans.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think of what I feel is the more complete film. I think I'm going to go Vampire in Brooklyn.
I mean, that's the easy choice.
Yeah, I think
that's the easy choice. Like
Eddie
I said,
Murphy,
yeah,
Angela Bassett,
yeah,
Kadeem Hardison.
Yeah. Vampire in Brooklyn is on the list of films that people have challenged me about my review of it.
Really?
Yeah, because I'm not a fan of Vampire in Brooklyn. Back to Eddie Murphy, it's another one that just sort of, he and I just aren't clicking. And as I've said for several weeks now, I like what Death by Temptation lacks in execution and polish. I think it makes up with just the tone, like the tonal kind of uneasiness almost.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
And while I don't think it's anywhere as close as a masterpiece is what I'm about to say, I feel like Death by Temptation has more in common with something like Ganja and Hess. Just as far as the tone and the kind of what the filmmaker was going for.
Okay. All right. I can see that.
I don't think it's anywhere close.
No.
Good as Ganja and Hess, but yeah. So I would pick Death by Temptation.
Okay, fair enough.
All this Death by Temptation talk, I feel like I need to go watch that again.
Bears repeating.
Yeah,
Stands up.
All right, but is that it? Is that it for Michael?
That is it for Michael.
Thank you, Michael.
And we have one more email from Morgan Robinson
Hey, what's up, Morgan?
with a spooky suggestion.
Okay, what is the spooky suggestion?
And I did that because there are literally 8 O's in spooky
I like it.
in the subject line. Hi, Vince and Len.
Hey, Morgan.
I hope spooky season is treating you well. I'm throwing a movie into the suggestion box for future Black Horror Months.
Okay.
Nanny from 2022.
Yes.
Directed by Nagyatu Jusu. It was well received at Sundance last year and would spark a great conversation on a mission. I won't say anything about the plot because it is something to watch and experience. It is a great horror film and a great psychological thriller. Another genre to consider for spooky season if you all want to switch up the kinds of films being covered. I've heard good things about Nanny.
I've heard very good things about Nanny.
Yeah. Also, since y'all are reviewing
To put that on my Halloween list.
Madea Halloween, I thought I'd bring it to your and the rest of the missionaries' attention that y'all owe us some more Tyler Perry movie reviews.
Well, hope you're listening in tonight, Morgan.
I can't wait to hear your reviews of Medea's Family Reunion. And why did I get married? Two.
Yeah.
I can only imagine the rants that will come out of those episodes. I'm not sure if y'all have started planning for the road to 400 episodes, but a fun suggestion could be to cover Tyler Perry films, as there are plenty of them to make that trek.
Yeah.
It may not be the most fun for y'all, but it'll be pure entertainment for the missionaries. Thanks for all you do, Morgan.
Thank you, Morgan. We will take that under advisement.
Yes.
But we have Boo for you tonight, so.
We do. And we will file your email away accordingly.
Yes.
Road to Madea 400. Me no think so. Okay. So that is our emails.
All right.
However, we have a voicemail.
Oh, Lord. Wait, I thought the voicemail was gone.
Shh.
Is it a ghost voicemail?
Shh. Listen.
Have y'all seen the American Fiction trailer? Yo, it's so cringy. It's so good. It's so Hollywood. Put in a Boots Riley, Jordan Peele kind of way. I'm so here for it. Now, my question. Y'all started Bootober
They can hear it.
season talking about radio disc jockeys in your areas and their crazy code names. Then you guys right over what your spooktacular horror host
you got to restart it.
Plumes might be. I want to shout out Wolfman Jack, but I'm not sure if he's a racist. Thanks for leading the mission. 2024 is on the horizon. Mo. R.I.P. the voicemail. Long live the voicemail. Doing this to make Glenn smile today. Have y'all seen the American Fiction trailer?
Yes.
Yo, it's so cringy. It's so good. It's so Hollywood. Put in a Boots Riley, Jordan Peele kind of way. I'm so here for it. Now, my question. Y'all started Bootober season talking about radio disc jockeys in your areas and their crazy code names. Then you guys right over what your spooktacular horror host non-diplomes might be. I want to shout out Wolfman Jack, but I'm not sure if he's a racist. Thanks for leading the mission. 2024 is on the horizon. Mo.
Thank you, Mo Poplar.
Thank you, Mo, for the voicemail.
Appreciate it. And it did make me smile. It made me
Yes,
smile.
there you
I was
go.
smiling.
There you go. Look, anything that makes Lynn happy.
Did we see the American Fiction trailer,
Yes,
which
yeah.
is the new film that is going to be coming out, I think, in December,
Yeah,
actually.
yeah. Directorial debut by Cord Jefferson.
Writer, director, Cord Jefferson, starring Jeffrey Wright.
Yes, sir.
And for those who don't know, American Fiction is Jefferson's hilarious debut, which confronts our culture's obsession with reducing people to outrageous stereotypes. Jeffrey Wright stars as Monk, a frustrated novelist who's fed up with the establishment profiting from black entertainment that relies on tired and offensive tropes. So to prove his point, he uses a pen name to write an outlandish, quote unquote, black book of his own, a book that propels him to the heart of hypocrisy and the madness he claims to disdain. We both have seen the trailer.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It looks, it really, really looks like some sharp, funny
Look,
commentary.
The cast is bulletproof.
I know. Jeffrey Wright, Tracy Ellis Ross, John Ortiz, Erica Alexander, Leslie Uggams. He had me at a Leslie Uggams.
I know.
Because how many times did I said on this
know.
show, Leslie Uggams needs to be doing more work.
I know.
So Keith David, Sterling K. Brown, Issa Rae.
Bulletproof.
Yeah.
It looks really good. It looks like one part Putney Swope and one part Bamboozled.
Yes.
And very much.
But and actually looks like it might be already better than the two of those. Those are two critically acclaimed films.
I'm about to say.
Well, but they're very much cult favorites.
Yeah. It'll We'll see.
We'll see. So yes, we have seen the trailer.
Yes,
Mo.
we have.
And if luck is on our side, we may actually be able to be seeing the movie soon.
Well, we'll see.
We'll see. We'll see.
See.
We're in talks.
We'll see. And we will actually see. I'm laughing. My daughter peeped my son to the cheat code. Like, he asked me for something a few years ago, and I said, we'll see. And Camille said to him, that's Dad's soft way of saying no.
Right.
But we will actually see.
No, this is different. This is not him. I'm saying.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, which means that it'll most likely happen.
Right.
But he asked a question. What was would be our own hard DJ names?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
You don't like doing that type of stuff.
Yeah, that's not really my jam.
That's not your jam at all. I was sitting there when I heard it. I was like, well, Vincent is not going to come up with anything.
Nicknames and dressing up and funny hats, and it's not really.
Which we would be.
No judgment if that is your thing. Like, we all have different things.
It's my thing.
Right. That's your thing. It's not my thing.
Which means that it can't be the Micheaux Mission thing.
It means it's not our thing.
Which means it's not our thing.
But that's okay.
Apparently, it'll have to be. So no, I don't have a funny disc jockey.
Disc jockey name.
No.
And then me. I got distracted because I was thinking about, was Wolfman Jack racist?
Yeah, I never heard anything like that.
Well, I don't think he said he was. He said, unless he was, which,
Yeah, but yeah.
Old-timey white man, if you gotta guess.
Yeah, but I don't know. I
have to say, I'm scared to look.
Yeah.
Because I really liked Wolfman Jack.
You talk about pulling a name from a hat, man. Wolfman Jack. That's a name that definitely has been lost to time.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure Dylan was like, Wolfman what? I don't even know what the hell we're talking about.
Right.
See? Ashy Feet he's pondering that perhaps your disc jockey name might be Macchiato.
Look, I said I don't do nicknames.
However,
but if I were, that would have been my pimp name.
See? That works as a DJ.
But I don't do that.
That works as a DJ name.
Right. And when we went to break, I hear like, shh. The steam from the espresso machine is telling me we need to take a break.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
While I freshen up my cup. This is macchiato with shots of darkness. We'll be playing Jermaine Stewart's You Don't Have to Take Our Clothes Off to Have a Good Time. But don't we? We'll be right back. This segment's been sponsored by Arby's.
We have the
meats. And curly fries.
Oh.
All right.
That was delightful. Thank you.
Yes.
I see a Micheaux Mission short in your future.
Yes.
All right. So thank you for all of your emails and voicemails.
All of you, appreciate it.
And if you want to send us in,
so we can have nice things.
See,
seems like it's closer than it used to be. I'm just saying. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Dylan's over on the side. It's not. I wasn't blaming you. He just needed to be on the record. It's not.
If you want to send us an email, ladies and gentlemen, please feel free. MicheauxMission@gmail.com. That's Micheaux Mission @gmail.com. Let Vincent know what's on your mind. Okay? And now it is time for the top 5.
Top 5. Who's your top 5?
Top 5, ladies and gentlemen, where I come up with a crazy list, tell Vince about it, and he shares his scintillating commentary on it with me and the rest of you. It's Bootober.
It is.
So this one definitely has a horror theme.
Okay.
And I'm going to pick up off of a copycat, let's put it more that way.
Okay.
Off of a top 5 from that we did a few months ago.
Okay.
When we had one Tanya Pendleton in the house.
Shout out to Tanya.
Shout out to Tanya, who's doing great things on WURD radio. She is killing it, ladies and gentlemen. If you're in the Philadelphia area, check her out every afternoon on Word FM.
I am her +1 on Prince Twitter. She's introduced me to Prince Twitter, and I'm learning so much about Prince.
Oh, boy.
So,
and on that episode, when we reviewed Purple Rain, for the top 5, we took Prince songs. I presented them to two of you, and then you two pitched movies based on these song titles.
Okay. All right.
So, picking up on that theme, Vincent, and picking up on the recent phenomenon of rebooting old sitcoms.
Yes.
Once with Frasier coming back, now in toss salad and scrambled eggs all over the place. Oh my! The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air being rebooted from a half-hour comedy,
Right. Reimagined
into a dramatic series. Vince, I will present to you my top 5 black sitcoms.
Top 5 black sitcoms.
That you, Vince,
That me.
will reimagine in real time.
And bring it up to date.
As a horror film.
All right, here we go.
All right?
All right, let's go.
All
right.
We're going to start with number 5.
Okay.
And this would be That's So Raven.
Oh, That's So Raven.
Now, for people that may not remember, That's So Raven was a teen sitcom that ran on the Disney Channel from 2003 to 2007 that starred Raven Simone, formerly of The Cosby Show. In this series, she starred as Raven Baxter, a teenager with hidden psychic abilities. And the show dealt with Raven experiencing visions of future events, and she must also deal with the social and personal issues of her aspiring youth.
Yes.
All right. Were you? I know you probably weren't a fan of it.
I wasn't a fan, but I was aware of it. It's left a pretty large cultural footprint.
It has.
Yeah.
It has. How would you reimagine That's So Raven as a horror film?
Oh, that's actually pretty easy. You lean into the Raven imagery. So you have the ravens around, and you actually use the premise that she is getting visions of the future. But the visions that she's getting of the futures, it's almost like a Final Destination thing.
Okay.
Where she gets visions of people dying.
Okay.
And then as she tries to prevent the visions from coming true, come to find out, she's actually causing the visions to happen.
Wow.
And then the season finale, you have a detective who asks the question, is she actually having visions? Or is she imagining it and she's actually a serial killer?
Interesting.
Boom.
Now, the only thing that makes that better is that if this can actually be happening while she's cast on The Cosby Show.
Okay. Now, you know this was after The Cosby Show.
Yes, I know.
Okay.
But why couldn't she still be a teenager with that cast? So we're rebooting That's So Raven, but also reimagining The Cosby Show.
Okay.
So she's starring as That's So Raven, but she's on The Cosby Show.
But she's also on The Cosby Show.
As a teenager.
And
Final Destinationing the deaths of all the cast members of The Cosby Show.
Okay, now I don't like it. I don't want.
Oh, I love it.
No, nothing happened to anybody on the Cosby Show.
Oh, I mean, for fun's sake, it's a show.
All right,
It's a show.
what's for? See, now you made it weird.
Oh, now I made it weird.
Yes. What's for? I don't want to participate in Cosby Show death talk.
Number 4.
Number 4.
Hanging with Mr. Cooper.
Hanging with Mr. Cooper.
From 1992 to 1997, this ABC television series starred Mark Curry and Holly Robinson before Pete. Mm-hmm. It took place in Curry's hometown of Oakland, California, where he starred as Mark Cooper, an NBA player turned substitute teacher / gym coach, and his roommate, later girlfriend, then fiance Vanessa, played by Holly Robinson.
Psychological horror, almost a Lolita situation where he has an inappropriate, but just how inappropriate it is, we leave up to the viewers, relationship with one of his students. Is he a mentor? Is he a father figure? Is he something more? And who is the one actually leading whom on?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Teacher stuff is always easy.
That's weird.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Now that's disturbing.
Yeah,
especially
look.
considering that you're a teacher.
Look, man, look.
Sounds like you got this all thought out.
Look, man.
You
Luckily,
pulling from real life.
I teach grown-ups, though. I mean, grown-ups.
Yeah,
Right.
grown-ups.
Y'all didn't see me throw the quotes. So. Oh, Lord, I tell my students all the time, I'm just impressed y'all didn't lose your shoes in a 3-card Monte game on the way to class. I don't even understand how y'all just trade the family cow for magic beans on the way over here, didn't you?
I just knew hanging with Mr. Cooper, you were going to lean on the hanging.
Nah. Wordplay is cheap.
Excuse me.
All right, what we got?
Well, number 3.
Another Raven Simone sitcom.
What?
She was on Hanging Mr. Cooper for a season or 2.
Oh, was she? Mm-hmm. I think I watched one episode of it.
It was a weird show because it was like one of those things where like the cast kind of cycled through.
Because he was in the school.
No, I mean Don Lewis was on there for a second, and
Really?
yeah, it was a weird show.
Never. Mark Curry does nothing for me. And Holly Robinson wasn't enough of a draw for me.
Mark Curry was one of them dudes we talked about, like Sinbad. Like you could tell studio execs loved him.
Yeah, but at least I like Sinbad.
Like you could tell they were trying, like they built a show around him. Mm-hmm. Like we need Mark Curry to be in the center of it. Now let's sort of throw some stuff at him.
Yeah.
It's like it's a magic robot, and he's and it's a trapeze artist.
Number 3.
Yeah.
This is another teacher show for you, Vincent.
Okay.
But this is going back in time a little bit.
Okay.
We're going back to 1969
Okay.
for Room 222.
Yeah.
An American comedy drama, which ran from 1969 to 1974, primarily focuses on the American history class in Room 222 at the fictional Walt Whitman High School in Los Angeles. The history class is taught by Pete Dixon, played by Lloyd Haynes, an idealistic African-American teacher. Other characters featured in the show include the school's compassionate guidance counselor, Liz McIntyre, played by Denise Nicholas.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, I know. I know.
I know.
You know. Who was also Pete's girlfriend, of course. And it also features the humorous, dry school principal Seymour Kaufman, played by Michael Constantine, and the petite, enthusiastic student teacher, Alice, played by a young Karen Valentine. Room 222.
Which is haunted because this is you would make it a period piece.
Okay.
Actually, when it was made.
So back in the late 60s.
Back in the late 60s, during the turmoil of integration, they put kids in a new building, but no one says that there was a murder in this building 50 years ago.
Okay.
And the body is in room 222, which is sort of the epicenter of all the macabre happenings in this school.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Well done.
All right.
I figured you were going to center on the room.
On the room itself. The room itself is haunted.
There you go. Do you remember room 222?
I own the box set
You do?
of room 222.
Okay, but have you watched it?
I have watched 4 episodes and it is super boring. It is so earnest and so we can defeat racism. If it's black people, we shave and wear a blazer and a real skinny tie.
That's Lloyd Haynes.
And I am upstanding. Imagine Bill Cosby without any of the energy
Or charisma.
or physicality.
That's true, too.
He just a black dude who's clean shaven in a tie.
You know what? You say Bill Cosby. He actually is more like, will probably bring you physically to mind of Sidney Poitier without the charisma.
Right, except he's a lighter dude, which I do think.
Then Harry Belafonte.
All right, I think the color dynamic is in there too. Like he
That's
really
true.
is, like a lighter black skinned dude, and they got him in this room, this sort of multiracial room, and Denise Nicholas is not in it nearly enough.
I know she's not. She's not, because actually I remembered Lloyd Haynes, and then I remembered Principal and Karen Valentine.
Yeah,
and I'm sure I could, if I searched my memory banks, I might pull Denise Nicholas from there, but
yeah,
not much.
Yeah, they just have her in like one of them pencil skirts.
Yeah.
In pearl necklace.
I remember that.
Pearl necklace and then the little short, like the little jacket.
Yeah, I remember that. I do remember that.
Counselor.
She was a
so
good looking woman. Mm-hmm. All right, so that was number 3. Number 2.
Number 2.
Wow, and I hadn't even noticed this one. This is another one that takes place at a school.
Okay.
I didn't even plan this. Dear White People.
Dear White People,
which was a television series on Netflix, adapted from the feature film, based on and a continuation of the 2014 film of the same name. The film's writer and director, Justin Simeon, also wrote these episodes. That star Logan Browning, Brandon P. Bell, Deron Horton, and Antoinette Robertson. The show focuses on several black college students at an Ivy League institution, the fictional Winchester University, and touches on issues surrounding modern American race relations through a progressive lens. How would you morph this into a horror film or series?
Did you ever finish it?
No, I don't think I ever watched the second season.
Yeah. I actually would pull a plot point from the actual show where I think I don't know if it was on for 4 seasons or 5 seasons, but like the season before the last season, because I still haven't caught up with the last season. Come to find out, because it's a fictional, basically Ivy League school.
Yeah.
And these black students at this Ivy League school, come to find out there is a secret society.
Of course.
Of
black students?
Of black students that have been there since black students have been allowed into the school. And I would lean on that. Like just really lean on this secret society of upper crusty black people.
Okay.
Who control everything. And
so now when you say they control everything, so this upper crusty black society would really be
to find out they are controlling all black everything.
Oh, all black everything.
Like all black everything, because all black everything leads to everything else. Like it'll be something and you'll go in there and like a dude will have like one of those screens and it'll be like Beyonce, Oprah Winfrey, Tyler Perry, and Deion Sanders all on a conference call.
Why Oprah gotta be with Beyonce, Deion Sanders, and Tyler Perry?
I'm thinking about people who are in charge of black people.
Deion. Okay.
Do not act like you and your little sporty sports have not been fighting about Deion Sanders for the past.
No, we haven't.
You've not gotten into a heightened conversation, pro or con, about Deion Sanders over the past 2 years, leaving Jackson State, going to Colorado, being this coach, this, that, and the other. You're telling me you've not been in one heated conversation in the past 2 years about this?
Heated conversation? No. Mentioned it? Yes.
Have you seen one?
I've seen them.
Of course you have, because I know about it.
I've seen them.
Like, did you notice I pulled the actual schools?
Anyway.
Yes.
See, what I thought you were going to say, though, was that this secret organization of crunchy black people.
Right. And then, of course, somebody's trying to expose them. But then.
But what I thought you were going to say was like a little bit of a twist in that they control everything. That they actually control everything. And it's the white people's horror to discover that they thought they was in control.
But really, they was in control.
It was really the black people in
control.
control.
There's a twist.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were going to say.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
I'll take it. I got some questions if they're controlling everything now.
Well, I mean,
it's the old adage, God is either all good or all powerful. But he can't be both, because otherwise I got some questions.
It's another universe.
Okay.
It's a mirror universe.
Mirror universe?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's the barbershop universe.
Barbershop universe, got you.
All right.
All right, what we got?
Number one. Black sitcom. For you, Vincent.
Me, myself.
To reimagine as a horror film. Are you ready?
I am ready.
From 1989, the show ran for almost 10 years, going off the air in 1997.
Okay.
Oh, matter of fact, it moved to another network and ran for one more year. So they actually ended its run in 1998.
Okay.
Family Matters.
Say, of course, Family Matters.
Family Matters.
I can't do any better than Key and Peele. Urkel is a monster. Urkel is actually a monster. Like, it is actually it's a good life situation. The classic episode of it's a good life, right? Not it's a great life.
It's a good life.
It's a good life. The classic episode of The Twilight Zone, where you have this person who's completely divorced from reality, who's completely seems like he has some type of psychological challenges, but he has supernatural powers. And part of the reason that you have to put up with him and him, did I do that? And all, like, the reason you have to do that, because, frankly, you're not trying to get wished into the cornfield. Once again, Key and Peele did it better. That's 100% me stealing from Key and Peele, which, speaking of Bootober and this, that, and the other, I think Bootober, I'm sorry. I love watching reruns of the Halloween episodes of Key and Peele.
Okay.
Because Jordan Peele's eye and his sensibility that we all celebrate now, you could see it then. And I remember watching Key and Peele, 10 years ago, and you did have that weird, this is funny, but this is also a little unsettling. Like, this is a little much right here.
Right.
So, there you go.
All right, well, that's Family Matters.
There you go.
That is our top 5.
All right.
Rebooting of black sitcoms
as a horror film.
as a horror film.
All right. High concept. I like that.
Did you like that?
It's high concept.
All right.
All right.
All right, we're moving on.
That's right. It's not a high concept. It's just very linear and straight concept.
To 6 Degrees of Derville Martin. Six Degrees of Derville Martin, ladies and gentlemen, where Vincent will have 6 films or less to connect the actors that I present to him to Derville Martin, the walking horror movie / sitcom of all time.
He is. He is. It's true.
And staying in theme, we have famous Tylers tonight.
Famous Tylers. Interesting.
Yes.
All right.
Starting with number 1.
Number 1.
Maybe the most famous Tyler of all.
Okay.
And that would be one Mary Tyler Moore.
Mary Tyler Moore in film. Well, this is how you get to Mary Tyler Moore in films. How do I want to do this?
Before she was a TV star, she was a movie. Star might be stretching it. She was in movies.
All right. So this is how we're going to do this. Derville Martin is in Guess Who's Coming to Dinner with Sidney Poitier. Sidney Poitier is in The Defiant Ones with Tony Randall. No, Tony Curtis.
Very good.
Tony Curtis is in Some Like It Hot with Jack Lemmon. Jack Lemmon is in, I believe, Grumpy Old Men 2. Well, actually, Grumpy Old Men 1 and 2 with Anne Margaret. Anne Margaret is in, is she in Viva Las Vegas with Elvis?
I believe she may be. Hold on. Viva Las Vegas. Viva Las Vegas. Viva Las Vegas. Yes.
And then Elvis is in Change of Habit.
Gotta have a change of habit.
In Mary Tyler Moore. How you remember Change of Habit from Change of Habit?
Honestly,
That's not the song.
it's not. That's not how.
No, in the ghetto is the song from Change of
yeah, in the ghetto is the hit.
Black child in the ghetto.
Yeah, that's the hit from
ghetto.
it. That's the hit from it. But that's the song. That's the theme song.
The theme song is actually
Change of Habit. You gotta have a change of habit.
Change of Habit.
Yeah.
Change of Habit. Elvis, in his thrust, convinced Mary Tyler Moore to leave the nunnery.
I know.
She could not resist Elvis in his thrust. He was a doctor working with the ghetto youth with an F.
You know why I remember Change of Habit?
It's a bananas film.
It's a bananas film. I was in Catholic school when I first saw Change of Habit.
Okay.
I never had, like, the nuns at my Catholic school, let's just say, they ain't look like Mary Tyler Moore.
No, of course not.
They did not look nothing like Mary Tyler Moore.
No.
So Mary Tyler Moore created a thing for me.
Yeah, oh yeah.
With nuns.
Yeah. Yeah.
That I have yet to get over.
Look, it's like Mary Tyler Moore in Change Your Habit and Julie Christie in Sound of Music.
Julie Andrews.
Julie Andrews just launched a whole subgenre of fetish.
See, I don't get it from Julie Andrews.
You don't get Julie Andrews?
No, because Julie Andrews is not sexy.
Right.
Mary Tyler Moore is sexy.
I mean, you know,
Like, because not so much on her TV show,
yeah.
but Mary Tyler Moore from the Dick
Van
Dyke Show,
sure, of course,
was sexy,
Right,
and the capri pants.
You know who's sexier than her though? Elvis Presley, and Change of Habit, because he'd have on his jumpsuit,
And he had his mutton chops.
and he had mutton chops, and I'm gonna go outside and toss the football around with the ghetto youth. Tell them that it's more to life than the street life with the switchblades and the 2-for-1ers and the uppers and the downers and the amphetamines.
It is a bizarre movie.
Change of Habit
It is a bizarre movie.
is a movie. Change of Habit is the kind of movie you watch, and then 2 weeks later you think it could not possibly
have been
that weird.
Then you kind of watch.
But it 100% is.
Oh my god.
Like at the end, she's basically saying to the nuns, I'm going to leave the nunnery because I want to have sex with Elvis. Like that is really my whole deal is I want to have sex with Elvis.
Not get married.
Right. Well, you know, I got a lot going on. I don't really have time to settle down. I'm moving around. I'm moving and grooving and telling the ghetto youth.
That's okay.
Lead a horse alone. You gotta lead a horse alone. In the reefer. It's a gateway drug to heavier drugs. You need to get high on life. Fresh air.
Hi, Mary, full of grace.
Right, exactly. Right, but that's the movie. All right, who's the next one?
Oh, God. Mm-hmm. All right. This one is not quite as fun.
Right.
In 6 movies or less, connect Derville Martin. Oh, brother. 2.
Yeah.
Liv Tyler.
Yeah, I knew you were going to do Liv Tyler. So Liv Tyler is
Get her to the only Liv Tyler movie you know, Vincent.
It's the Meteor one. What's the Meteor one? Is it Impact? Great Deep Impact? Is she in Deep Impact or is she in the other one?
It's not Deep Impact.
Well, what is it?
Tell me who else is in there, and I'll tell you the name.
It's Ben Affleck.
Yes, Armageddon.
And Armageddon and which grizzly white guys in that? Is that
the one you like? Bruce Willis.
I was saying Bruce Willis is in it. All right, so let's see all right, let's see. Okay, so this is how we're going to get to Derville Martin to Liv Tyler. Derville Martin is, of course, in maybe we'll take the long way home. Derville Martin, can I get to I want to get to my movie.
Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen, because we will be reviewing Boo, a Madea Halloween.
Yeah, we should probably go ahead and go. So Derville Martin is in Five on the Black Hand Side with Dick Anthony Williams, who's in Mo Better Blues with Samuel Jackson, who's in Die Hard with a Vengeance with Bruce Willis, who's in Armageddon with Liv Tyler.
Very good.
I was trying to get to Bruce Willis through 12 Monkeys.
Oh, Brad Pitt.
I was trying to get to Brad Pitt real quick, but I couldn't so there you go.
My favorite Liv Tyler film is, of course, outside of, because she's in the Lord of the Ring movies.
Oh, I always forget she's in that. Yeah.
But my favorite Liv Tyler movie is That Thing You Do.
Yeah.
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 I love that movie.
I love that movie too. And I hate that baby boomer masturbatory, things were so awesome. Like that whole Tom Hanks, Ron Howard, Like that whole pocket that they do.
What do you mean?
I hate them movies.
Well,
the
I mean-
Greatest Generation sort of 60s.
I mean, the films that you'd be talking about are Apollo 13.
Yeah, which I think is way overrated.
Oh, okay.
All
fair
them
enough.
damn Band of Brothery things.
Oh, Band of Brothers is phenomenal.
How many times have you watched Band of Brothers?
I watch Band of Brothers every year.
Do you really?
Yes, I love Band of Brothers
How do you love Band of Brothers?
because it is phenomenal. It is. It is. It is. I never watched the Pacific, but Band of Brothers is.
my God.
It is phenomenal, Vincent.
Oh my God. If I never see another thing about brave white men in World War II, I can go to my grave happy.
Well, I mean, I don't have to after seeing Band of Brothers.
Oh my God. You know they're making a movie now about brave white men who fly planes in World War II.
I don't need to see it.
Oh
I don't never ever need to see another World War II movie because like I love Saving Private Ryan, but Saving Private Ryan has gotten to the point like I get to a certain point of watching it and then I turn it off.
Right.
Not that I'd like it any less,
Yeah.
but like I've seen enough. But Band of Brothers,
Oh my God.
I watch it from beginning to end, man. It is phenomenal,
my
Vincent.
God.
It is it's phenomenal piece of work.
I need all of them to fight and kill the Nazis, and they come home, and the lady comes up and hugs them and kisses them, and then they all go home in their beautiful suburbs, and then they put up a sign that says "No colors allowed." That's how I need all the movies to end.
Okay.
But I love that thing they do. I actually love that thing they do. I know I'm complicated. I do every single one of them movies, and Tom Hanks, and he got the helmet on, and he's got the little playing card, and he got a little picture of Mary Sue, and they fighting the Nazis, and they
that's
fighting
not Tom Hanks' character.
honey. It's
Did you call me honey?
yes. Even if it's
We
not
are an old married
Yes,
couple.
I know, right? Even
We
if it's
have officially become an old married.
even if it's not Tom Hanks playing this guy, it's 100% Tom Hanks. Oh, and they're fighting the Nazis, and oh, they're so brave. They're so brave.
But that's not what
And
Band
it's-
of Brothers about.
It's about the brotherhood of the soldiers, and they're so noble, and they have each other's back.
It's not about them being noble. It's not.
What's it about?
Band of Brothers is about the humanity of this brotherhood.
Yes,
but it's not about them
right.
being
The human-
noble. It's not about them being noble at all.
But their brotherhood is in World War II, and
Well, okay,
and
that's
they're
where it's
fighting
set.
and they're fighting the Nazis.
That's where it's set.
and they're good guys.
This is where it's set.
And
You
they're
can't help but
super
where it's
awesome,
set,
and-
man. No, it's
and
not.
then they-
It's
then-
not. It's
then
not
they-
like that.
then-
How many times have you watched it?
Once.
You see, then,
Right.
It's not. It's not about
Then they
that.
come home and they have one of them little short sleeve shirts, and they're looking wistfully out on the lawn because they're haunted by what they've seen in the war. And then just over the clearing is a sign that says "No colors allowed."
Go to sleep, baby. It's time for. Call me honey. It's time for our review of Madea. Hey, you thought that was fun?
Yes,
You ain't seen nothing
you
yet.
ain't seen nothing yet.
It's time for our review of Boo, a Madea Halloween.
Yes. Get my notes. My Madea notes.
You know, the next Micheaux Mission T-shirt. He's Vincent. I'm Honey.
Come on. Come on.
All right, let me bring this
All
up.
right.
Woo! That was on point. That was really on point. Thank you, Vince. Thank you. I needed that. Boom. Okay, here we go. Okay, and Boo, a Madea Halloween, a 2016 American comedy, directed, written, starring, and co-produced by Tyler Perry. The idea for the film originated from a fictitious Madea Halloween movie that was mentioned in Chris Rock's film Top 5.
Yes.
It is the 8th film in the Madea series and the second to not be adapted from a stage play, as Vincent had once mentioned, and tells the story of Madea being enlisted by her nephew Brian to watch over his daughter Tiffany as she deals with different horrors and a frat party around the corner. The film was released in 2016 and despite generally negative reviews,
Of course.
became the third highest grossing Madea film with $75 million versus a $20 million budget, and would soon quickly lead to Boo 2,
Boo 2?
Madea Halloween, that was released the following year in 2017. This was Vincent's selection for this stop in Bootober. And Vincent, tell the missionaries, what exactly is it that you found so fascinating
Yes.
about
yes.
Boo,
Yes.
the Madea Halloween?
Right. Well, look, at this point, Tyler Perry, who is, without hyperbole, you know, I would argue the most important black filmmaker of the past 20 years. Like, I don't think he's the best. Like, you always got to get the disclaimers out here. Like, you always got to do the Tyler Perry disclaimers. Like, I don't think he's the best filmmaker. But when you talk about someone who has had a cultural impact, when you talk about someone who has left a footprint, when you talk about someone who has generated a body of work, you cannot ignore what Tyler Perry has done
Fair.
in the 21st century. As you said, this is his 8th Madea film.
Right.
Like, we're not talking about other films and other projects. This is his 8th Madea film. And Madea has always been the foundation of Tyler Perry's billion with a B dollar enterprise and legacy and empire. An empire that I always like to point out, speaking of someone who I think is a better filmmaker, but I don't think has left the footprint than he has, my beloved Spike Lee. I always think about the quote from Mo Better Blues, where Bleak Gilliam says, if we had to depend on black people to eat, we'd starve to death, which I think is true for the vast majority of black creatives. Tyler Perry made the bulk of his $1 billion off of black people.
That's true.
So this is someone that, regardless of what we think about the quality of his films, demands to be taken seriously.
Yeah.
You and I have talked about Madea several times, the Madea films. And I think the Madea films are this expression of the old saying, a spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down. Where the Tyler Perry sort of formula is, you come in for me and drag in the Madea stuff and it's farce and this thing, hello and hallelujah. But then he's talking about these issues, these social issues that he thinks we need to address more in the black community. I pulled a couple of stats, a couple of details from 3 of the Madea films.
Okay.
Start with Diary of a Mad Black Woman in 2005. This is the first Madea film. The film tells the story of a woman who's thrown out of her house by her husband on their 18th wedding anniversary. She moves in with her grandmother. And then, Madea is introduced to the world. The film has Tyler Perry as Madea, but it also has Kimberly Elise, Steve Harris, Cicely Tyson, among other actors. Comes in right at 116 minutes,
right,
which is about right at 2 hours. Follow up 2006's Madea family reunion. This tells the story of Madea preparing for an upcoming family reunion while dealing with the dramas before and during it. And if you've never seen Medea's family reunion, there's sexual abuse and sexual assault and family secrets and really heady stuff. And besides Tyler Perry in that film, you got people like Blair Underwood, Lynn Whitfield, Jennifer Lewis, young Keke Palmer, Cicely Tyson. I'll go all the way to the film, the Madea film that came out right before Boo.
Okay.
A Madea Christmas, 2013, tells the story Madea goes to this fictional town with her great niece and spends time with the great niece's daughter as financial trouble involving the newly constructed dam threatens the town. So now you get these, kind of a broader social issue, these sort of economic, predatory capitalism, basically. Besides Tyler Perry, you've got Anna Marie Horsford is in here, Tika Sumpter is in here, Kathy Najimy is in here, about 100 minutes. I brought those all out for a couple of reasons. The balance of the Madea film is this.
Okay.
If conservatively, half of the film is about a social issue, half of the film is about Madea and her hijinks.
Yes.
You have about 35, 40 minutes of Madea in these films. And then the other half, regardless of the quality of the scripts, which I don't think are good at all, he always has managed to have actual actors in the film. So that for the parts that Madea isn't on the screen, regardless of the level of melodrama, regardless of the quality of the scripts, you like Blair Underwood is only ever going to be but so bad.
Right.
Because he's Blair Underwood. Same with Lynn Whitfield, same with Cicely Tyson, same with Viola Davis, so on and so forth. What fascinated me about Boo, as an exercise in watching Tyler Perry do his thing, is that the half of the Madea film with the social issue is not there. This is a film that barely has a plot.
That's very, very true.
Brian, who is the character that Tyler Perry himself plays
in person.
Like what not in Tyler Perry plays three characters. He plays, of course, Madea. He plays his own father's character, Joe, and he's in old man makeup. But then he also plays the character Brian, which is Tyler Perry without makeup. He's having some issues with his daughter. She's she's a bratty teenager.
Right.
I don't want her to go to a party. I got to go out of town. Madea, can you come watch? But as a conflict, it's not really a conflict.
Yeah, especially when it's dealt with pretty early on.
It's dealt with pretty early. Like, this big party is over, and there's like almost 45 minutes of the film left. And then the other part, the reason I brought up the cast members, this is a really lightweight cast.
Yes.
The vast majority of the people in this cast are people from YouTube and their quote unquote personalities and quote unquote content creators and comedians. And I'm sure they're very good at what they do in their respective fields. But acting is a craft. Like, acting is something that you work at so that, again, regardless of the quality of the scripts in your standard Madea does some stuff, at some point you are going to grant 15 minutes of screen time to Viola Davis.
Right.
And you know, she Viola Davis.
Yeah, you can just let her
Right.
do her thing.
So I was actually enthralled by how boring this was. Because you realize that the Madea hijinks really only work in concert, or rather in contrast to the other stuff.
Right.
Like, you know, Derek Luke is talking about leaving Keisha Knight, pulling him in a room to get gang raped for 10 minutes. And it's like, wow, this is crazy. Oh, well, here's Madea cutting a sofa in half with a saw. But if it's just Madea talking about Madea stuff, and you know, it's like this troupe of Tyler Perry actors from television.
Yes.
And it's like the whole hook is that they're dressed up in old people makeup. It actually drifts away
Yeah.
as a feature. And even though this is very deep into Tyler Perry's career, there are moments in this film where you got the sense that Tyler Perry was lost with what to do. Mm-hmm. There's a scene in this film, and I have to tell you, just talk out of school. You know, Lynn and I don't talk during the day. We come here, and you know, if we break the rule, I'm usually the one that breaks the rule. The only exception is when we watch Tyler Perry movies, and then Lynn breaks the rule. And Lynn called me out. I'ma just tell y'all missionaries, Lynn called me out my name twice today for saying that we were doing this film. But there is a scene in the middle of this film that is without exaggeration, because I timed it, over 10 minutes long, with Tyler Perry and his cast of people in old people makeup sitting in a room. Mm-hmm. And nothing
Is happening.
actually happened.
Nothing is actually happening.
And you can see they're kind of coming up. They're trying to come up with stuff to say, but it just sort of falls flat and goes and you know what it made me think of, speaking of talking out of school in Lynn and Vince conversations. Maybe my favorite show of all time is Sanford and Son. Mm-hmm. But part of what I love about Sanford and Son is you had this collective of very seasoned performers.
Yes.
That on a lot of episodes of Sanford and Son, it's really just Red Fox
Riffing with his old time friends.
hanging out with his old time friends. You know, Leroy and Skillet and Whitman Mayo and
LaWanda Page.
And LaWanda Page. But they're so seasoned and so good at what they do that you don't realize you've been sitting here in this one room set for 20 minutes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Tyler Perry and this crew just are not, they just don't have that level of anything, so that.
But what happens, why that happens in that scene is because you're saying Tyler Perry and his crew, but when you really start to think about it, it's really just Tyler Perry.
3 of the people are Tyler Perry.
It's Tyler Perry as 3 people, and then
Tyler
2
Perry.
women.
Yes.
Who basically are just bouncing off of,
Right.
You know,
And,
riffing.
and bounce is a very strong word.
Exactly.
Because there's nothing to bounce. And you know, this is Tyler Perry's own fault that you compare it to this. But you think about those scenes in the Nutty Professor films.
Yes.
Where you know there's probably hours of footage of Eddie Murphy, who, like Red Fox, is a seasoned performer and comedian. So that by the end of the film, look. Boo a Madea, it's not a good movie. It's just look. Of course it's not a good movie. But again, I think you have to take Tyler Perry seriously. And this, I was absolutely fascinated by how sort of bland and just there this film is. So much so, like, I'm gonna just give you the heads up. I'm 100% choosing Boo 2 next October, because now I just, again, I was enthralled. I was like, this. I texted you. I said it. I said, I cannot believe this scene is still on. Like, he has not cut the scene.
I know.
So,
It's you're saying that Tyler Perry is the most important black creator, producer, director, however you want to say it, of the last 20 years. And you probably are right? Mm-hmm. But, and as much as we go in on Tyler Perry, and I certainly lead the charge on that, the one thing that I have always pointed out is that I will never knock the man's hustle.
Right.
Can't knock that. Can't knock the man's success, to your point. Because there's an argument to be made that he may be the most successful black director ever, depending on how you...
Right, your metrics.
Your metrics of success. But what my main thing about him is that for all the cachet that he has earned, it's what is he doing with it? And you pointed out on a lot of those other films, his earlier films, as he's building his resume and building his status in Hollywood, that Tyler Perry is always smart in surrounding himself with seasoned actors who can, carry the load of the films, because his directing and his story most likely won't do it. Right. And in doing so, the Tyler Perry movies would become almost akin to another callback from earlier in the show, Remember the Time. Become almost these, let's go to this Tyler Perry movie because we're going to see Cecily Tyson. We're going to see Angela Bassett. We're going to see Blair Underwood, in an all black cast.
Right.
And regardless of whether or not we 100% buy the story of what's going on, it'll be nice seeing them all together. And then we've got the little bit of the Madea shenanigans that you just gotta kind of, turn a blind eye to, and then hope that maybe in the sequence of things, since Madea is good on throwing 100 jokes up there on the wall, 2 or 3 of them will stick.
Right.
But as you move further and further into his career, and he becomes more and more established in Hollywood, what he does is he now starts to smell his own stuff. He now starts to drink his own Kool-Aid, and now doesn't feel he needs the surrounding of these other actors, except some of them who maybe have become more or less parts of his troupe. Like he definitely has the troupe that he developed from his stage plays.
Sure.
He's brought them in. There are also now some maybe actors who have lost a little bit of a luster from their hair days. So now they can make a pretty decent, hey, I can at least be in a Madea movie. Or some who are almost like the grandmothers of Black Hollywood, a la Cecily Tyson, show up for a couple of scenes in a couple of these movies. Outside of them, and as more and more of them start, falling to the wayside, it just becomes Tyler Perry and his id show more and more in all of these films, and even in all of the other exercises and other projects that he does, because he does all these other projects for BET and for OWN, and they all have that same sheen of, and I'm sorry, mediocrity, cheapness, one man's vision. There's a TV show, an acclaimed TV show that's about Washington D.C. starring a black woman. I can do that.
I can do that.
There's a TV show about with a black woman who's a lawyer, and she's teaching all these law kids. I can do that.
I can also do that.
Hey, there's Eddie Murphy. It can star as like 10,000 people in a movie every time he does a movie, and they make a ton of money. I can do that.
Yeah.
And I don't need nobody else to do that for me.
Yeah.
And more and more those exercises have more and more diminishing returns. Right?
Yeah.
Like you said, none of his movies have been like critical darlings.
No.
But some of them, at least, even though heavy-handed, have touched on some themes that you weren't seeing in films, primarily because there wasn't a lot of black films around the time as he's building them up. Now that there are more outlets and more black stories being told now, with more nuance and more quality and better writing, a lot of the themes that he was just stamping hard on, they're actually being explored in much more profound ways. Now he doesn't even know what to do. Like you said, this movie, Boo, a Madea Halloween. It's not a great movie. Nobody went into it expecting a great movie. But as far as making a movie, this should have been a layup.
Yeah,
it's Madea.
Look,
you get these knuckleheads. You get the sense that there's a moment in the middle of the movie where he realizes, oh yeah, I got to get these people running around being scared and having crazy hijinks, because that's what we're selling.
Look, old black people are scared of ghostesses.
That's all you need.
That's the movie.
That's the movie.
That's the movie.
It should have been a freaking layup, but no, you're in trouble when this movie opens up and you think you're looking at some $3 Animal House movie. I'm like, what? I literally stopped the film to check, make sure that I was watching a Madea film.
No, Madea doesn't show up for 11 minutes.
She doesn't show up for 11 minutes, and then she's on screen for the next 20 minutes. And then in the scene that Vince told you that from hell, they're stuck in hell.
Well, the first scene is the trick or treat.
Oh, that's right. Oh, that's right. Oh,
right.
That's longer. The hell too.
It's so bizarre. Like Medea's whole shtick is that she is an agent of chaos and farce.
Yes.
And just high arched, madness.
Right.
Static is the word I'm looking for. Madea is actually static. So much of this film, Madea is sitting in a chair.
No static, no checking your vertical hold, and nothing.
I really did feel like without that kind of arch, kind of, crypto fascist kind of, really just conservative, narrow-minded morality that you get. Madea has nothing to bounce off of.
That's right.
Like, you need that, and it's just not there. And then, like 20 minutes with the film, they drop this bombshell that Brian's wife left because she had an affair.
Of course.
And the girl, yeah, but how you drop this with 20 minutes? It's like
20 minutes left in the film. Yes, of course.
It's like we've spent this whole if you're gonna do the Madea stuff, you're gonna have to start earlier in the film.
Yeah, but see, but you had to have it because, like I said, he realizes halfway through the movie that, oh, I need to do what this movie's sold for.
Yeah.
You know, having the old people running around being scared. Then with 20 minutes left, he's like, oh, I need to do what I do in every movie. I've got to kick some black women. Because that's all it is. Right. Because it comes out of the blue, and it's also that
it's true.
Not only can
it's true
Tyler Perry in the Brian role,
it's true.
Tyler Perry in the Medea role can both deliver foots up the asses of black women in this movie.
Yeah, because the Medea chronology and continuity, I actually put in my notes, that's a damn shame she cheated on him after he took her back when she was on the crack. Mm-hmm. Because remember, she was on the crack. That's right. Because this is still Brian. This is still Brian from Diary of a Mad Black Woman when she was on the crack.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hey, you got. It's not a Tyler Perry movie if you ain't kicking a black woman.
But even that part, think about how bananas Diary of a Black Woman ends, where Stephen Wright and they did, I love Jesus, and Jesus made him walk again in church. Yeah. And remember, Cracky busted in and said, Jesus got me off crack. And then Brian took her back.
Yeah.
Now she had I don't know.
She had an affair in the house.
And in full disclosure, I did not see the film prior to this. So I don't know if they covered this in the film.
Oh, I'm sure it's been covered.
No. I'm just like this Brian chronology, like Brian's family. Because then I was trying to wonder how Tiffany isn't singing in the church anymore.
Well, dude, man, first of all, if you try to make sense of the family history here, because technically
it's like Mouth of Madness. I'm actually doing some H.P. Lovecraft ones.
I mean, because technically, like the Bam lady is Brian's mom. I'm like,
no, she's not.
I thought she was Brian's mom.
No, Joe is mom's dad. Joe is his dad.
Joe is his dad. That's right.
Medea is his aunt.
Joe's his dad. Joe's his dad.
Right. Medea is his aunt. And the other two chicks,
they're friends,
are Medea's friends.
Okay.
Keep it straight.
Also,
whatever you're about to say after the also is going to be hilarious.
This movie obviously takes place, talk about horror movies. This movie obviously takes place on the set of Family Matters. Because there's a little child that's introduced in the beginning of the movie. Who's Brian's son. He totally disappears.
Well, here's the thing. I thought he was setting it up for some big deal cameo to play his wife.
Of playing his wife
because he's on the phone with the wife, and then I'm going to come and get the kid. And I'm like, okay, and like I guess it'll be like Michelle Obama or something is going to play, like just somebody come. But then the wife never shows up.
And the
kid disappears, and he's never mentioned again.
I'm telling you, this was the set of Family Matters.
I was like, oh yeah, Tyler Perry was just, let's just wrap this up. let's just wrap this.
To be fair, maybe the boy comes back in Boo 2.
Which we've not seen. So maybe his disappearance is addressed.
It's addressed.
In Boo 2. There's this weird plot point where Madea and Joe are talking about beating Brian until he's in the hospital, and and it's kind of played for laughs, but it's enough specificity, and I was on life support. I was 4 years old. It's like,
At 4 years old,
like, is
this
is
what we're laughing
are
at?
they joking or is this really? And well, when your daddy beat you down, he just left you in the middle of the street. Look.
No, Daddy threw him off the roof.
Right, Daddy, you threw me off the roof. Just like this, I don't.
So would you recommend that people see Boo, a Madea Halloween?
I mean, look, no, not at all. I have the same stance that I continue to have the exact same stance about Tyler Perry. I maintain what I said about his importance. I think if you are interested in black film, you need to know about Tyler Perry.
That's the key
What
point.
I have strongly suggested, I think you need to watch one non-Madea film that you can speak on. And I think you have to watch one Madea film that you can speak on, that you can pull from and speak on.
We've not seen all of Tyler Perry's oeuvre,
But quietly, we've seen most of it.
We've seen a lot of it.
We've actually like I hate the snooty, oh, Tyler Perry is beneath me and I only watch this kind of movie. But then like they actually don't know what they're talking about. Like, oh, I don't watch Tyler Perry. It's like, I don't like Tyler. Have you seen any Tyler Perry?
I mean,
No.
Do you think that's snooty to have that?
I do. I think there is an attitude that some people have about the work of Tyler Perry that is not based on them. It's like I say all the time. I say it all the time. I think people always pretend they've read things, they've watched things, they've heard things, and they're just lying. Like the one thing that you will not say about us is that we have critique. We talk about Tyler Perry, but we know these movies because we watched them.
Okay, so let me just
it is actually documented at this point. Probably almost 10 Tyler Perry movies you and I have talked about.
Okay, let me ask you this.
Yes,
because I have through my life been taken to Tyler Perry movies, or taken people to Tyler Perry movies. I've never once on my own initiative said, I want to see this Tyler Perry movie.
Yes.
Have you, outside of the mission, wanted to see a Tyler Perry movie or seen a Tyler Perry movie?
Yes. Before we started, I had watched Diary of a Mad Black Woman and I had watched Medea's Family Reunion.
Wanting to I want to see this.
No, look, basically so that I could know what I was talking about.
Okay,
like
fair
if
enough.
I'm somewhere
fair
running
enough.
my mouth, and just like we did just now, like I'm actually going to pull details.
Okay.
Like Brian is Joe's son. Madea is like, I know this, like I know what I'm talking about. Like I'm not just, basically me and my wife joke all the time. Like we'll do something and it'll be like a little bougie. And I say, oh, you're a Tyler Perry villain right now. You're a Tyler Perry villain right now. I'm not going to be a Tyler Perry villain. Like, so yeah, I watched those two films and then I love that damn acrimony. Not acrimony.
Temptation.
Temptation.
Yeah.
Temptation.
Yeah. And to be fair, now that I think about it, I did go into Diary of a Mad Black Woman wanting to see it.
Right. I've seen, I saw 4 little girls before we started. Because again, I think if you're going to critique something, I think if you're going to have an opinion on something, you should know what the fuck you're talking about. So yes.
With your edict that
yes.
people in knowing about Tyler Perry,
I think you
should at least see one Madea movie,
one Madea film,
and one
non-Madea film, and I leave it up to you which one to watch.
You don't have 2 that you would suggest?
I would suggest Medea's Family Reunion.
Okay. So that would be the
Madea film. And I think the best example of the non-Madea Tyler Perry film is actually, all jokes aside, temptation. Like you're talking about Tyler Perry's sort of id laid out on screen. Yeah, I think temptation is like if I was Tyler Perry's therapist, that's what I would study.
Madea doesn't show up in Temptation? Okay.
That's little Journey Smollett, who commits the crime of being a pretty light-skinned, college-educated woman who wants to have good sex with her husband and has and she's ambitious in her career.
No, I remember that, but and isn't Brandy in that too?
Yes.
I thought I remembered seeing Madea in one of the Brandy scenes, but maybe I'm thinking differently. Okay,
Yeah,
all right, cool.
those would be my two, not Boo. Now, speaking from a scholarly point of view, and I'm going to put this timestamp for the future.
Okay.
Future missionary, sitting who is in graduate school, writing your dissertation on the films of Tyler Perry. You need to watch Boo.
Really?
Yeah, again, just structurally. Again, structurally, this thing is ridiculous. Like this is the unraveling of the Madea formula. Like it actually unravels before your very eyes.
Okay. I think it may be unraveled before this with Madea Goes to Prison, but okay.
Yeah, but see, even Madea Goes to Prison. He's got Derek Luke in it.
Yeah.
Viola Davis is in it.
Yeah.
Again, you've got gang rape.
Yeah.
And prostitution.
Okay.
Like, so, you know, you got all that.
Yeah, so that, yeah. All right. I got you. All right. Well, yeah, I would not recommend Boo or Madea Halloween. I'll go out on a limb and say I would not recommend Boo 2, but I haven't seen it.
We haven't seen it. We're going to watch it, though.
But I'm penciling that in for next year.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Before we tell you my horror comedy selection for next week, I want to let you know that in 2 weeks it will be Halloween.
Yes.
On the Tuesday, and Vincent and I will be taking that night off.
Yes.
We will not be airing a show on October 31st.
It's true.
So go and have delightful time with your family and your friends on that night, because that's exactly what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Vincent, I believe, is going to be going out. And
I am.
doing some trick-or-treating.
I'm taking the boy trick-or-treating.
Now, he gets dressed up.
Oh, yeah.
Does he know what he's going to be this year?
He does not, and it is causing concern in my household.
Really? What?
Dude,
you can't make a choice?
You got to get on these costumes.
Okay.
Like, you got to get them.
What was he, or who was he last year?
Boy, it's so funny you should ask that. So last year, you know, not to bring the room down, but remember a year ago is when my mom passed.
Yes.
It's been, so early October was just, but you know, by the 31st, it was like, well, you know, you got to take them, you know, got to go out. And my daughter Camille, you know, shout out to my daughter Camille. You know, all the costumes were gone, but Camille said he can dress as Miles Morales right before the end of the film. So remember when he had the hoodie on and the shorts and so Adam had on like some black sweats or, you know, like these black joggers under some shorts, some sneakers.
Nice.
We ran to Target, bought a red hoodie and found like we had a Miles Morales mask from like Free Comic Day or something, and he put the mask on and had his hood up.
Nice.
So he was Miles Morales.
That's nice. That's cool. That probably was cooler than anything you could have bought.
Man, I was looking at this is part of the anxiety in my house, because like he was Miles Morales and then, you know, he's Black Panther year before that, and so, you know, it's like he has these cool costumes, and now we don't know what we're going to do this. So yeah, it's a source of stress right now in my house.
Oh man, you gotta do. I mean, you won't be able to buy it, but you gotta be Icon.
Yeah.
So you can have the cape.
Right.
So you can have the cape.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
Now,
So,
do you get dressed up with him?
no, of course not.
Of course.
It's funny, the Black Panther year, like he was Black Panther. My daughter dressed up as not Okoye, as
Shuri?
Yes, she was sure. And then my nephew Michael actually had the little twisties.
Oh, okay.
Like he actually looked like Michael B. Jordan, and he had a denim jacket. So he was Killmonger, and they all dressed up. So it actually looked like a family portrait. But yeah,
Except
yeah. It's not really. It's not my deal.
except for Jarvis.
Yeah, I'm dressed up as surprisingly stylish middle-aged dad.
I'm bougie father.
Right, exactly. Who may or may not have had some bourbon. It looks so real. It's so accurate. Yeah, I know.
It's food color. It's just food color. Anyway, so Halloween, we will not not be here, ladies and gentlemen. But before we tell you what we're going to be reviewing next week as we close out Bootober, I invite you to send all of your thoughts and whatnots to the Micheaux Mission via email at micheauxmission@gmail.com. You can also find us on all the social medias, whether it be Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter, at Micheaux Mission. That's MICHEAUX MISSION. You can also subscribe to the Micheaux Mission on YouTube. Ring that bell so you are notified when we put up new videos and when we are going live, and build our numbers. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers. Let's get to 1,000. It would be really, really great if we could do 1,000 before the end of the year, ladies and gentlemen. Stretch goals. The Micheaux Mission is also a proud member of the Podglomerate, podglomerate.com. They make podcast work. Indeed, they do. Mm-hmm. And the Micheaux Mission streams every Tuesday night from Young Junk, Philadelphia's premier video podcast palace right here in Manayunk. Go to the videocontentfactory.com and book your time in one of the glorious studios that they have here. I believe they're going to be opening up other studios in a couple of weeks. So they're just booking time left and right.
Excellent.
Fortunately, the Dylan clone is working, so they're not getting our Dylan. They're getting like Dylon and Dylon and Dylon. We've got Dylan.
It's good rappers.
Okay. All right. Next week here on the Micheaux Mission, it is my turn to close things out in Bootober. And I am doing it with a film that I feel may be one of the biggest slept-on films of 2023.
Ooh.
You and Vincent will be the judge when you join us for our review of The Blackening.
The Blackening. We can't all die first.
We can't all die first, but somebody got to go. And that will be next week here on the Micheaux Mission. Until then, he's Vincent, I'm Honey, and in parting we say...
We'll see you when it's time to meet again.